All right, hello everybody. Welcome to VRML. This is the final day of week 2 here in season 2. And we're getting ready to go with a back-to-back cast. We have Phoenix versus Full Metal Jacket starting off here momentarily. And following that, a very hyped up match, going just by the votes alone on the match page. Wombo combo and Barrage. That'll happen in about half an hour on this channel. For both of these games, they'll be casted by me, Palidore, and joining me is RoxTytan. So, Rox, how's it going, and what you looking forward to in these streams?
I'm doing good, man. It's excited to watch these games today and just see how these teams do. It's been really cool watching these new teams come together this new season and just see what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, we're going to get to see that right here as we do get started with the first round. So, all right, here we go. To all of Twitch joining us here today, thank you for doing so. See Ginger in there, Lanzan as well, and Swift, as well as Soisy. I do believe Swift, as we mentioned, getting some camera work in the cam debut in just about half an hour. But right here, it's Full Metal Jacket with a disc at the chance at the first offense, perhaps. So, Tiny Thug going for that grab, that boost with his teammate. They get kind of caught up on the Geo, now punched out there by Monster. Yeah, Monster dodging past Tiny, and now the floor being spread out by Phoenix, and some good passes as they work up the floor here. Now they just need to find some grabs.
You're making it clear that they got the clear disc is a little bit free, and they got one boost coming in a little bit close, though, so he gets punched out, and Full Metal Jacket able to get it out. Unfortunately, it bounces off the cloud. So they are able to recover off the floor and make another attempt to clear there. So it does get through the middle this time. They really get a boost and see if they get there first.
Well, they do have Fork there, right down the road. It's Fork 44 with the first 3 points. Full Metal Jacket on the board here.
Definitely a very exciting game so far. Just a little bit back and forth, see which team can, and eventually with Full Metal Jacket's able to finally pull away and get that first loose disc.
Yeah, and for both of these teams, it'll be their second time on stream. See Ginger there cheering on Fork. Let's go. And Swift also got his emote approved. We were just talking about that an hour ago. So good on you. And right now, the Orange crew has it saved, though, by Just Phantom. A great save, great grab, but Vacant on the other end gets the disc right back.
It's crazy to me how fast these new teams are picking up the meta stuff. You see the players pushing into bubble there, making a quick cross pass, which is something that we didn't do for the first 2 entire seasons of ESL.
Yeah,
almost. And then making an equally incredible save there after that maneuver is very impressive.
Which I didn't do even after 2 seasons and even after 2-3 years. So yeah, super impressive here as it gets taken out of the mid-air by Fork. And Fork trying to find that clear, but unfortunately, it will be retained here by Phoenix. They get there quickly with a boost, but so does the defense retreating back. And getting that ultimately is going to be Full Metal Jacket, at least for a minute, as Thug gets a nice boost off here.
Yeah, Phoenix control the disc on the floor there. A little bit loose, but I think they'll be able to get to it. I'm pushing in the bubble here, see what they can do. But the steal from Free Smoke comes in and sends the disc again back to goalie, making these smart decisions, and they can then make the clear and get the boost together and push up the field.
So they do get that clear. Does reach the hands of Tiny Thug. We'll have Free Smoke as well as another cross pass down below available to Fork. Fork hitting Smoke, and that is hot fire Smoke indeed. It's 5 points here for Full Metal Jacket. That was a really nice series of passes.
Yeah, it was really, really good. They did a great job making that defensive stop. Getting the back pass to goalie to open up the clear on the other side of the arena, since the side that they stole it on was a little bit clogged up. And we're able to move the disc down, keeping control, and get that 2 points.
And Ginger says, "My boy's eating." Well, yeah, grab your forks, I guess. So into the tunnel will be contested here. A couple players for Phoenix. Monster coming away with that, but the stack really quickly, almost cutting off that pass there, but Cross leads to the one-on-one, and kind of a mirror image now. Great passing here on Phoenix's side.
Yeah, definitely. Both these teams are doing a really good job keeping control of the disc, keeping calm under pressure, and finding these passes and connecting them, and just like really good play all around from both teams.
Love to see it. That's just very fundamental, wasting no time there, but the efficient passes getting the goals they wanted to. And, oh, a big steal. Going to get the goal that they want to. Exactly there for Phoenix, and it's a monster putting it in the closet.
Yeah, picking right back up, getting that nice steal off. QB wasn't quite ready for it, and tying it up 5-5 here. About half the good time left.
I got to be really careful on a lot of these jousts sometimes. I mean, teams at the high level, and you know, whether it's master tier or bronze tier, really, you just see it so frequently where if you're not quick to get rid of that disc, sometimes you can definitely be taken off guard.
Absolutely, yeah. It's especially even more dangerous when you see the teams varying their launch speed so quickly. You'll have one play where they won't really pressure the quarterback at all, and then the next play they'll rush him, and you just you always have to be ready for that.
Yeah, varying it up is certainly a strong suit for any team that want to incorporate that into their offense and defense alike. I think one of the biggest killers of a lot of teams, and even or especially at the top level, as we do get a shot right on level from Free Smoke there. But one of the biggest things that kind of hurt a team sometimes is if you get too stuck in autopilot. And I kind of say that from experience at times. It's very easy to get lulled into just complacency.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely always pays to be on guard, watching out for any differences the enemy team may throw your way.
So nice bounce shot there going in off the backboard, and well, a bounce pass going right back to Vacant, intentional or otherwise, as that will float just past the wedge and into the deep blue zone.
You're getting the punch there on Monster, and Full Metal Jacket able to clear the disc out, but it gets picked up in the middle by Eagle. He's going to look for the pass, but just a little bit wide off the ceiling, and defense is able to get a possession there. Unfortunately, it looks like, oh, and just as I say that, Just Phantom making the quick steal, able to get the disc out of their zone and up to the midfield line.
That was a really nice grab, and just the same, a nice grab from Vacant, able to really bother Tiny Thug there and allowing maybe this numbers situation. Opportunity will be handmade, and there you go. Monster does it again. It's tied up again, and this match has been very entertaining.
Yeah, going for the long shot there. Unfortunately, it was a little bit wide, but luckily Monster was there to pick it up and finish it off and get them right back tied up 7-7 with just over 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, very just back and forth so far, and hopefully it'll end that way. Now, the connoisseur vote, interestingly, was pretty well in favor there of Phoenix, but as we see so far, it's really anyone's game. Now, that said, if that shot goes in, that would have hurt them quite badly, but will be retained in the backfield here. Full Metal Jacket on offense, and seeing if they can make maybe this upset in the first round, if we're, again, going by the connoisseur.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of these teams myself going either way, but if they are really that unfavored to win this matchup, then Full Metal Jacket is playing excellently, because they're keeping this neck and neck going into just 3-minute mark.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's really been the case. Now, a good steal from Glean, trying to glean a shot, if nothing else. It'll bounce right back to the awaiting hands of Fork and Thug. But over at the bow tie, almost intercepted, but not quite recognizing it quick enough. But they do have a deep backliner who also just kind of overshoots that grab.
Who the quick boost coming in, but Monster is able to get his hand on it and not get loose. To Eagle is able to get the clear off, going back into the offensive zone of for Phoenix there. So
Phoenix trying to collect that one and just sailing past instead. Eventually, they will get to Vacant, and Vacant trying to just lose that disc before he gets dislodged by the defenders. Now, Monster, same kind of thing. Very nice dives out here just on the outer side of the bubble. Not really giving a lot of room to maneuver.
And he steals it right back. Monster's able to push up. He's got potentially be a 2v1 situation here with the boost coming in, but the pass gets off the Glean just in time. Whew. Takes the shot, but then saved by Phantom, who's able to make the clear off into the midfield again.
Kind of came off his hands a little softly there because of the stun, but good grab just the same, and a good job by the stack to really dislodge a disc and come through with that kind of speed to force that softer throw. So tied up less than 2 minutes. This is the first round of this matchup, Phoenix and Full Metal Jacket, and so far thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, both these teams are definitely playing it really carefully here. They know the clock is winding down and that the next goal could very well be the one that decides the match. They're both playing these very deep defenders to catch these clears, and it's working out for both of them pretty well.
Yeah, now getting piled up on here. 2 players from each team right by the midline, and now Free Smoke trying to break free and find some passing opportunities, potentially a duck through, a little bold, and will perhaps cost them here as we approach this final minute now with a turnover.
You see this floating up in midfield, though. They might be able to recover it, and Tiny Thug does just that. He gets a slap off to his teammate. Might be a little bit far ahead of him, and looks like Phoenix will be able to pick it up and go for another clear off the trench.
And eventually collecting that, Monster just flings it right behind, trying to tap it out, and does so pretty successfully. Now the goal is exposed. That bounce may have a chance. Slight will roll right back to the hands, though, of Just Phantom, and he's going to go into the midline for a pass there to Free Smoke. 42 seconds left, and now certainly the next score could definitely be that winner.
Yeah, luckily they still got their back player in Vacant there. He's able to catch that clear and make a nice pass down to his teammate. He's going to pick it up down. Unfortunately, it does get slapped out, actually, but Vacant, once again, in the back line, is able to pick up that clear, get that loose disc, and make the clear right back over.
Now, unfortunately for them, Just Phantom, much like Vacant, playing that back line and gets the midfield reception, and now maybe a numbers opportunity. So 14 seconds. If they score here, this will be a game winner. Now that's a slightly displaced pass, but will be collected by Free Smoke. Free Smoke looking for the gun smoke, but no, right past the hands. So looks like, barring a very quick fling here, we're going to overtime in round one.
Yeah, very close first match here. Now I'm excited to see. I think it was Phoenix that won the first joust of the match, but it was ended up getting into possession of Full Metal Jacket. So it'll be very interesting to see who's able to get this one.
Yeah, that was just a very close opportunity. Ginger there in the chat pointing that out as well. Couldn't capitalize on it, but you know what? They still have a chance here. So they do win it. Full Metal Jacket here with a disc to Tiny Thug. The pass not completed, and oftentimes you will see in these OTs that right off that first launch, they end an awful lot of the time, but this time getting stuck here in the pocket.
Yeah, and we see Full Metal Jacket, you're picking it up, but that punch goes off and right back into the hands of Monster, who clears it into the tunnel. Glee now picking it up and going for the long shot, but it gets picked up by Just Phantom, playing that back line still. Makes it pass down to his teammate in the lower trench.
Now, and we've seen from both of these teams some pretty good passing and positioning there. Need to prioritize that. That said, a really big swoop in from Vacant, playing the deepest of backlines there inside the bubble almost to contest that loose offender. And
yeah, very close there. Looks like, oh, again, Eagle picking it up, going for the clear again. This one bouncing a little bit weird. Might be hard for the backline player to pick it up. We got Monster coming in pretty quickly. He gets the punch. Now the back
no.
Dings off. And Full Metal Jacket is able to pick up the disc and push out of their bubble.
Well, that's a tough break on that one. Definitely got the offensive player there trying to rebound, or at the very least, about to have the disc, but caught him off guard with a stun. Got to be careful here with some more stuns from above and behind. There's a lot of defense in the way. Now Fork going for that duck through play, and again the pass it's there. The idea is correct, but not quite finishing on just the connection. So
there we got Full Metal Jacket being a little bit impatient, bringing their backline pair up. They're kind of want to get this goal, and the bounce shot from Free Smoke ended up paying off. They took a little bit of a risky move there and brought the backline player up to play that offense, but that fourth man is just what they needed. They got that disc control, they kept it for a while, and they were able to get that push in the bubble. Free Smoke able to find that bounce shot off the backboard and win the first round for Team Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, and in overtime, no less. So between these two teams on their second stream of the season, getting some featuring here, and yeah, just doing some fantastic work. Just to entertain, all those at home. Again, the advantage in terms of connoisseur was in favor there of Phoenix, 21-2 in fact. But yeah, that upset, if you want to call it that, it's certainly from Full Metal Jacket, showing what they can bring to the table, and they brought some entertainment. And score-wise, well, it was Free Smoke bringing some goals, 6 points, 1 save, as well as the 12 stuns. We had Fork with 3 points, 2 assists, 27 stuns. Tiny Thug contributing 20 stuns, and Phantom with a save, a steal, and 4 stuns. Meanwhile, for Phoenix, it was 5 points for Monster, as well as an assist, 2 steals, 13 stuns. You had Glean with 2 points, 10 stuns, and Eagle with an assist, 10 stuns, and then Vacant with 1 steal, 5 stuns, and just plenty of midfield and backline interceptions.
Yeah, definitely a very close game, and that first match really couldn't have been any closer. They brought it down to the last 30 seconds of overtime, so this match is far from over, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a game 3 here.
Oh yeah, definitely in the table, on the table, as Free Smoke does claim this disc once again. Full Metal Jacket now consistently winning these boost battles, or winning these neutral jousts at the very least, but Phoenix at the end of the day will get the disc first.
Yeah, and although the first match was extremely close, Full Metal Jacket definitely does have that momentum coming in after taking away that first game. And we'll see if they can able to transition that and keep it going.
Yeah, trying to do just that, but being disrupted, a lot of punches. Somehow, Tiny Thug coming through all of that. Heavy-handed brawling, still got the disc first, but again, there's Bacon in the back line. Ever Pesky will try for that very deep throw into the other end, and just going to kind of ping-pong it back. But that said, grab, flung, and almost going in once and twice before Tiny Thug comes away with it.
Yeah, very close slap there. Tense situation in the bubble for sure, but Full Metal Jacket is able to pick it back up. Unfortunately, the clear goes off the geometry, but we do have them picking it back up, making the pass back to goal, and we'll see what they can get this out of their zone with.
Yeah, I like the patience being shown there, the control, going for the back pass before bringing it forward. And see the maneuverability here, but maybe the comms just slightly delayed, so we'll enable a three-point play that is not successful, and slapping it out there, where it will look like be recovered by Monster and Phoenix. So yet another attempt, and it's always dangerous when that happens.
Ooh, and a back pass just a little bit wide, just past the hands of Vacant, and now it's up to Full Metal Jacket. It looks like they do have a stack coming in. They're able to get possession of the Ziskin, punch the goalie out, and then get themselves a two-pointer, getting the first points of the second round, and continuing their advantage after winning that first game.
Nice job there by Tiny Thug to convert, and free smoke, making the goalie hurt, getting the punch in and really enabling that a much easier look inside the goal.
Yeah, and we'll see if Phoenix can respond, because they've had a lot of really close opportunities. A couple long shots that just barely dinged off the post there. And so they're definitely still in this game.
Yeah, no, good grab there to deny what would have been an open three-point goal potentially, but just very slick on the reflexes. And trying to stick the players here with a punch as Fork comes away with it and resets here again.
And Tiny Thug now finds his teammate on the floor. They can push up the pass, unfortunately, just a little bit low. And looks like Monster might be able to come away with this and make that clear.
Now we'll ping pong all around there, kind of like a pinball machine, before eventually finding Phantom, who dishes it over to at Station. Will miss and bounce right back instead to Eagle, but Tiny Thug is there for the retrieval and the upheaval into the goal. It's 4 points, Full Metal Jacket to start off first 3 minutes of round 2.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket definitely, again, the favoritism is going towards Phoenix in the connoisseur votes, but Full Metal Jacket is showing up and showing that they can compete, because they are doing an excellent job of punishing these little mistakes and pressuring their advantages here.
Yeah, they really are. But that said, 4 points, plenty to make up for here with 7 minutes still remaining on the clock. Wanting to force that third round, just needing to collect. I mean, both these teams, again, they're prioritizing passing pretty well. Full Metal Jacket maybe just ever so slightly more, getting some of these extra passing opportunities for these plays. But, you know, Phoenix, they get just one of those plays going, and we know how quickly that can change the mentality and the rhythm of a team.
Yeah, absolutely. And just then we get the clear coming off from Glean, and we'll see if they can get the boost there. And it looks like they do have it. Coming in to get the disc first and pick it up and put themselves on the board for 2 points. Eagle, after the clear from Glean, getting themselves on the board and putting themselves right back into this game.
Yeah, speaking of momentum, that was a lot of momentum on the boosted player, Eagle there. Flying just like his namesake, gets the disc and puts it away. So cutting that lead to just 2 for Full Metal Jacket as they launch out here on the offensive joust for the first time and avoid that stack. Actually, that defensive stack kind of getting double punched there, so delaying them nicely.
Yeah, luckily Monster is able to pick it back up and clear it back to his teammate at mid. And I actually thought there was a clear, but really great pass to Glean there. And so they're really going to take control here out of the side of the arena.
And positioning out here at Ness, a very deep bounce. We'll just eventually find Eagle again. That same up high position, a risky shot, shooting it from his Eagle's nest, but with the goalie in there, not going to get through. Although Vacant is still there, ever reliable, buying these second and third opportunities, as that's a 3-point opportunity. Big hit from Phoenix, from Vacant.
Yeah, and Phoenix has been just barely being a little bit wide on these threes all game, and they finally able to get one in and then put them in the lead over 5-4 over Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, see Krusty Cat in the chat asking about the Onward coming to the Quest. People are excited. I know just from a league standpoint, VRML certainly excited, definitely, and we saw how much that Echo Arena blew up coming into beta on Quest. Can only imagine Onward's about to have much of the same fate. So, yeah, that's definitely fun news coming at end of the month, 30th.
Yeah, very exciting indeed. And as we see that, we see Full Metal Jacket pushing into the bubble, making these very nice passes, but save goes off, I think, the head of Vacant there, and able to keep that disc out of the goal. Free smoke. I couldn't even tell what happened there with the swinging around. Is able to find a spot in the goal and puts it in, putting them right back in the lead, 6-5.
Yeah, rather crafty on the moves. I mean, kind of a 360 did a bit of a tornadoing type move, but a very, very almost calm tornado, if you will. It was unusual to watch, but it worked out very nicely as Phoenix launches out here for this joust, and Vacant collects it, but loses it off the Geo here.
He's able to pick it back up and look for another clear here. Does find his teammate at midfield. Unfortunately, a little bit weird bounce off that block there. But his Eagle is able to pick it up and get it downfield.
And
off the ceiling, Vacant is able to pick it back up, but right back into the hands of Tiny Thug, who's going to look for a clear, but again, he gets punched out. Luckily, Free Smoke's able to find it, but again, just punched out. These teams are neck and neck racing for this disc, and it is Full Metal Jacket able to find the clear.
There's just one part about Full Metal's game that's really kind of stumped them a little bit, is just having Vacant there in that back line. Anytime they go for the passes here for Full Metal, they're doing very well. Anytime they do the clear, though, it's just getting taken by Vacant. And that shot almost made, but Free Smoke coming away with it. He'll have some time to work up the floor here. The defense retreating a little bit there towards the tunnel. And now a handoff here to Fork down below. And you see the spreading the floor once again from these teammates on Full Metal.
Yeah, going for the back pass there, unfortunately, hits off of the center geometry there and into the hands of Monster, who is, even though he gets punched out, gets the headbutt off, putting a wrench in the plans of Full Metal Jacket, and they are able to recover it back for Phoenix.
And losing it off the teammates there, sometimes a difficult part of stacking too close, knocking it off the heads or misgrabbing. So will be retained now by Fork as a result of that. And they're up by 1 point. There's 2:30 remaining here as Full Metal attempts to complete the sweep.
Yeah, and a quick grab from Monster is able to grab that pretty fast clear and keep it in the offensive zone. They still have a lot of time left with 2 minutes, but it is the clock is still moving, and they need to find some points eventually. So we'll see if they can make that happen.
And they're getting moving here, definitely on the defense for Phoenix, trying to find their stacks and find their boost back into the goal area. We'll get them the disc momentarily, but just lost off to Fork again. More stacks coming on, and one of those instances of hot potato as it just ping-pongs across all the different geos and the walls, ceilings, etc. But finally, Full Metal coming away with it. Handoff here that bounces a little low.
Yeah, we can see Phoenix does end up picking it up and going for the clear here. Bounces high, but it looks like it is through. But no, back in the hands of just Phantom. Again, playing that back line. Gets the boost back and is able to recover the disc.
And hands it
off. They're happy
to
play this. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. They're I think what you're getting at, they're happy to kind of play this, considering that they have the lead here. I mean, they're retaining the disc an awful lot at this point, kind of doing what Phoenix was doing earlier in the round. That said, the goal left open there off the dive. Not the worst idea on that dive, but just missing a little bit. So regardless, defense getting back and immediate fling. That was a nice delivery. The anchor shot slightly off, and those are sometimes difficult, but retained here. Tiny Thug, and couldn't make it fall either.
Yeah, very close shots here coming in, one after another from Full Metal Jacket. Phoenix is just barely able to hold by the skin of their teeth, but eventually Full Metal Jacket will break through with the nice shot from Free Smoke into what I believe was a stunned goalkeeper, putting it up to a 3-point difference, putting the pressure really onto Phoenix here.
Definitely, because now with that amount of time remaining, I mean, you can score 2 twos, but it's going to be pretty tough here. They're going to need to really consider that 3-point hit, go for a goalie. Oh, but another possession change. It's a steal, and Free Smoke, well, he's going to be free here for the win on Full Metal Jacket. That's going to secure it here.
Yeah, playing that, and I always love when teams are in these winning positions like they were in with 8-5, 35 seconds left, but they go for these risky plays. They go for these aggressive plays to catch the Phoenix off guard. It looks like exactly what happened. They were caught very off guard with the aggressive intercept play. And Full Metal Jacket is able to secure that game for themselves and the series with that.
Yeah, and just well done. That was a very entertaining game. It came right down to the last minutes of both rounds, last overtime for that matter, or the overtime for round 1, and then really it wasn't until those late goals here in the final 45 seconds or so from Full Metal that truly secured it. But otherwise, tremendously close game, and Full Metal, credit to them, they're going to kind of take one over there on the Connoisseurs, and they're going to come ahead here with that victory.
Yeah, very impressive showing from both teams. It was super close, and even though they did end up getting that last second 3-pointer on the side of Full Metal Jacket, that second match was extremely close as well, just making that small difference, making the scoreline look a little bit more spread, but it was really down to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely was. And as we take a look at the stats here for the teams, was 13 by Free Smoke. Definitely a heavy hand on the offensive end, putting in goal after goal, 3 saves as well as 27 stuns. You had 4 points from Tiny Thug there, as well as 41 stuns. Just Phantom with 1 assist, 3 stuns, and look at Fork, 3 points, 2 assists, but 58 stuns, and that is well and ahead of just about everyone else in this entire match. So big brawling effort from Fork there as well.
Yeah, definitely did a great job of breaking up Phoenix's attack there. We could see both teams really liked to keep control of the disc, pass it back and forth, but Fork there just getting in, breaking them up, and making it really hard to make those passing plays possible with all those stuns.
And for Phoenix's side, it was a very even effort, really, from all the teammates here in the scoring end of things. I mean, Monster put in 5 points with 3 steals, 27 stuns. We had Vacant with 3 points, 7 stuns. Glean with 2 points, 19 stuns. And then Eagle with 2 points, 1 assist, and 15 stuns. So nice kind of even distribution there from that team play kind of end. But I can really say the same for both teams. Very impressed for being the first time I've casted Phoenix, I believe. Full Metal I may have casted that first match. But yeah, just a very, very nice effort all around for both these teams. And going ahead now on the next match in this schedule, it will be a Wombo combo versus Barrage. And that's set to start in the next 5 minutes or so. So in the meantime, we're going to just redirect to the intermission and join us on the other end. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to VR Master League here. Short intermission, and we're back in it with the next match, a very hyped up one here, coming in with 27 hype votes. Mighty high. Barrage and Wombo combo ready to get started immediately. So, back on the stream on the casting desk again, I'm Palidore, and next to me, RoxTytan. And Rox, well, already a fun start to this stream with that last match, and hopefully continuing on here with this hyped up one.
Yeah, definitely. Both these teams have definitely been on my radar as far as keeping track of these new teams. I casted one of Barrage's games earlier in the season, and they did a really great job. Especially Pravalo stood out to me as a really good shot, taking these long shots, consistently making them. But Wombo combo also definitely a couple notable names there as well, and they've also done a pretty good job with their matches so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited just to see. I mean, we have, of course, kind of a returning familiar face there, Shaken Bacon, but Hanavelli as well. Really cool to see him back because Hana was one of the players in the very, very early days as a very, very timely stun, but even timelier one from Paravalo there. Will get a clear into the intercepted hands of Shaken Bacon. Shaken looking to hit a teammate on the other end, maybe a little bit too strong and off to the side, where Tantrum gets the disc and gets stunned in the process as Hanavelli comes away and backs it out. And now,
yeah, really, oh, another great save from Tantrum. Really high octane match so far. These teams are playing really aggressively, both of them, and getting these punches, getting these saves. Really tight situation in the Barrage bubble there, but they were able to get rid of it. And now hopefully they can get out of their zone as well.
Yeah, I barely had a chance to even breathe in that whole first sequence, but getting back to the hands here of Lufu, who trying to go to the nest pass maybe, or actually off the corner, and look at that big shot from Shaken Bacon. That's, talk about familiar faces. I remember him doing that quite a few times in Season 1.
Yeah, very impressive. Caught the disc and just with the backhand shot off the backboard. Shaken Bacon with a really impressive shot there. Just not a second to spare with the goalie coming back hot.
See, Navuma in the chat saying, you guys are doing a great job, commentators. Well, thanks. You guys are doing a great job being a Twitch chat. So, thumbs up. Yeah,
and we see Barrage here with the disc, taking it a little bit slow, taking their time, pushing out of their zone. not afraid to take their time. That's good. Even though they're down by 3 points, they got 8 minutes left in this match, so plenty of time to take their time and keep possession. And they're doing that just now, getting into the offensive zone. And then Adam going for a long shot. Looks like it has a chance, but unfortunately, Lufo is back there in goal, is able to pick it back up.
And tossing it Hunavelli's way. And right back at him. Kind of some sauce on that pass, but still got back to the hands here of Muser. And he's going to back that out. Really good patient play here from these players, which, again, comes down to the experience, the veteranship. I mean, having any kind of returning players who are used to some form of that competitive play is always going to be a great thing. And although I say that, just coming off that last match we witnessed between two rookie teams who still had some great passing plays the entire time. So, you know, I'm just speaking in generalities, but really we're seeing a lot of teams come through with these nice chemistry and this nice teamwork.
Yeah, both these teams are doing a really good job of keeping these two of these stacks together. I've seen them almost constantly just flying around, getting these stuns, breaking up the other team's possession. But we do see Barrage again controlling disc in their own zone, taking their time.
And back to the other end, Lufu waiting that deep back line, hitting Hunavelli up here, up high. Again, those passes are pretty strong. The shot a little bit strong as well. But credit to the catch and the tap. Now, that was precise, except for the fact, well, there was a goalie in there, so more of a precise pass to the other team.
Yeah, both these teams playing extremely quickly, not missing a beat with these passes going off from one right after another, and with speed, too. Some of these passes are going really fast.
Yeah, we talk about that hot potato play at times, but this is hottest potato. It is just really breakneck despite being so back and forth. I mean, they are just all over the place. A lot of piles forming, a lot of immediate stacks. You can see that one just coming up to the barrier and then right back again and clear into the tunnel. I mean, a lot of movement from both sides, and it's almost difficult to follow from a camera perspective, but on the perspective, Hunavelli saw the goal, saw it open, and got it to go.
Yeah, just again, Wombo combo punishing that little, they have a couple seconds where the goal is open with the stack coming back, and they're able to find that pocket at the top there and just hit that long three-pointer.
Yeah, just great shot, and a couple inches off, and that would have been a ding as well, so placed right where it needed to be, and Hunavelli, that's something he's been doing for years now. From the last time I saw him playing super actively, back in the 2017-18 kind of days. As Shaken Bacon goes for a three-point play, but it's going to be taken out by Pervallo and slung into the midfield.
Yeah, definitely, again, really tight situations there. Wombo combo putting the aggressive offense on and putting the pressure on. But Barrage has done a pretty good job so far of dealing with it, keeping these close situations from resulting in goals. And although they have given up a few, they've stopped a lot more than they've let in.
Oh, losing the handles on that disc, just kind of floating out of his hands. So Pervallo has it stolen now by Hunavelli. Will go right back, self-pass of sorts, but the stack in the back line got to be careful because Barrage was already prepared to launch out and go target that disc. That said, maybe a little miscommunication, kind of both players turning around, maybe thinking the other one was going to get it briefly, but they'll still recover, and Copenhagen now with the disc.
Yeah, and you can definitely see Barrage being a little bit more careful. They've had two pretty long threes shot on them so far, so they're definitely being a little bit more careful, watching those angles and cutting them off. Doing a really good job of stopping those from happening.
Yeah, making up for any kind of mistakes or any kind of pressure just with pure speed, as we like to mention. If you can get your stacks in quickly, you're going to make up for a lot of misplays or just good plays from the other team, just based on being, in a certain spot first. As that almost floated in, will still be rebounded. Oh no, the risky bounce play, trying to go for the steez and instead kind of blowing up.
Going for the anchor shot there, hits top pocket, but it does get saved by Tantrum. Very nice save there, and now we're going to force Wombo Combo to reset their offense and sort of take their time.
So not paying for that initial attempt there on that open goal. Will just roll right in, but this time dinging off the post. A good positioning though from Muser. Will find the goal and hitting the head there of Pervallo in the way in, so it'll still count as 3 just the same for Wombo Combo.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, bringing off the head, because we've seen Tantrum make a lot of these saves, so I'm pretty confident if that little bounce off his head hadn't happened, then we might have seen another save there.
Definitely a tough break, and finding themselves down 9 as a result of that 3. So they will roll out here with 3:19 remaining. A little bit slow on that rollout. Always got to admire the patient play, although in these situations, definitely they can't be too patient unless that clock start going really against them.
Yeah, down by 9 points again. They still got quite a bit of time. They've got they don't have to necessarily be going for these long threes yet, but they're definitely approaching the point where that's going to have to start being a thing to think about.
Yeah, now we're going into the 2-minute area just below the 3, and as math works, and a nice pass over to Adam. Adam going off the backboard, and there you go. That's a good attack, and they finally get their first couple of points. It took them almost the full length, I mean 2/3 of this round, but that was a nice hit.
Yeah, very good shot off the backboard, finding that side pocket there, and those are really hard to read as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, definitely. Hard also to make a lot of times when you're brand new to Arena, just figuring out the whole geometry of not just the backboard, but just any kind of bounce shots. But we're seeing a lot of that more and more over the weeks and months from the newer players, and we already see it an awful lot from those master gold players. So always fun to watch just how people get creative with the arena.
Yeah, we can see this time, the first time this game so far, Wombo combo with the offense with the disc, and they came out pretty hot, moving those quick passes into the tunnel right in the offensive zone, not wasting a second, wanting to get more points. And we do see the successful defense by Barrage getting the clear off, and they do have the boost coming in. They're able to get another 2-pointer there, putting themselves not going down without a fight.
Not at all. That is exactly what they needed there to put them right back into this game. It's under 2 minutes remaining in the round 1, granted, but that's plenty of time to score twice, a 3 and a 2, and they can tie it right up here. So, not out of the woods is a Wombo combo. They need to be careful with how they handle this disc on this launch. If they lose it again rather quickly, like they just might there, that could have been a big momentum shift in this game.
Yeah, but that said, Hanaveli finds the disc, but a little bit of a ambitious pass there, gets just a little bit wide. And gets picked up by Adam Fly, but Hanaveli stays it right back, pushes it into the bubble. But the save again from Tantrum, putting an absolute wall in front of this goal here. Unfortunately, the clear goes back to Hanaveli, but this time gets punched off by Paravallo. And looks like they're finally able to get a clear off here.
All right, so a lot of time was kind of expended there in that last jostling just between these players, trying to find control of that disc and trying to deny that goal. So 49 seconds remaining. Back into the midst here of Wombo, and that is the absolute opposite of what they needed. Now, a great save from Tantrum again, continuing to impress here on the goalkeeping end, but the time, not on the side with 36 remaining and down 5.
Yeah, and they're approaching the point where this is unfortunately going to be no longer possible for them to get there. They're not quite there yet, I think. I'm not sure how my math is, but definitely got to get this disc down there now. But unfortunately, it gets picked up in midfield by Hanaveli, and I think now we're out of time, unfortunately. Shake and Bacon not going to give up just yet, but Copenhagen gets the punch off, able to make the clear into the midfield.
Yeah, so first round will be, in fact, into the hands of Wombo Combo, maybe looking to capitalize on one more score with 5 seconds left. They can get one more cutting pass, perhaps, or just fling it, but looks like it won't be the case, just holding the disc out to run the round down, and 9-4 indeed for Wombo.
Yeah, definitely an interesting change of dynamic there to the course of the match. You can see Wombo Combo did end up getting that 9-point difference at one point, and they were feeling pretty confident going for those little Steez plays off the backboard bounces. But Barrage also come back with the last 2 goals of the round, letting them know that they weren't invulnerable, and that they this match was definitely something that they still have to worry about. And you can see them starting to take it seriously there at the end again, just hold on to the disc instead of going for more points.
Yeah, and just was curious because wanted to take a look at how the connoisseurs were reacting to this one, and very, very even. Aside of the fact that there were a lot of hype votes on this match, we have 22 connoisseur votes, fan votes on who they predict will win this match. 22 going to Wombo Combo, 20 to Barrage, so basically even for all intents and purposes. I mean, just very, very much indicative of what we've seen in this first round, although the control being had by Wombo Combo. I think more momentum was definitely starting to build there from Barrage. They're getting a little bit more stabilized towards that end, so I would expect once again to be much like that last match on the stream that we had just finished up there with Full Metal Jacket and Phoenix, where a third round is as likely as anything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though they did end up dropping the first round, Barrage did end up getting the last 2 goals there. So they do have a little bit of momentum going into the second round, and we'll see if they can keep it going.
Let's see, Just Phantom in there, stopping in the chat after following that last game, saying good game to our team. And yeah, very, very good games, fun to watch. Welcome to the chat. Hazard as well joining. There's Mr. Nate Bro and Lanzana as well. as we see Copenhagen getting stunned. Copen, one of the players we saw there in that Lanzan's highlight video that he released a couple days ago. Very nice one as always. Well edited and entertaining.
Yeah, the clear going off from Adam there, but it is picked up by Lufo right back into the hands of Shake and Bacon, pushing up into the zone here. Finds his teammate on the floor, coming up with the backboard and putting it in for the first 2 points of the round. Hanaveli.
All right, so right off the momentum still there from the first round. A nice dunk in, just about a minute in, and continuing to be just impressed by the tenacity here. As the first offensive joust goes for Tantrum and Barrage on this end of the floor, and Pervallo now with the disc and crossing it over. Just some zipper line passes, corner to corner, and now to middle. So good control being shown, but just as I say that, maybe a caster's curse as it does get taken back here now by Muser.
Yeah, Barrage opting for a very controlled line of play, going for a lot of these passes, trying to move this disc up slowly and with control. It's very effective when it works, but again, like we've seen with teams like Kangarillas who also have similar styles, it's very difficult to execute. So props to them for going for it and doing a pretty good job of executing it there. Just making that one little mistake at the end there, but doing a pretty good job thus far.
And that's also why, too, it's very much handy and encouraged, to keep up the speed and make, as I said earlier, make up those mistakes that you might make on the floor mechanically, make it up with just some good speed and going for the stacks quickly. Because you're absolutely right. It's executing passes with precision and accuracy, and more so than anything, consistency is that shot not quite on. It's difficult because you can make 5 perfect passes in a row. All it takes is just one slightly narrow pass or wide pass, and your entire play is broken. Yeah,
and there again, just we see Barrage missing that first 3-pointer, but the offense is not over yet. They've still got control in the offensive zone. And again, they're taking this nice slow style of play, keeping control. And the bounce goes off the geometry there, but they aren't able to keep it up, I think. Yeah, Adam there. Does get punched off, though, by Hanaveli, who goes for the long shot. Bounces off of Bowtie, however, and does bounce down in the trench.
Now we'll be there all alone, the Lone Ranger from long range, but couldn't make the goal as the defense does retreat into it. There's Tantrum there already, has had some very, very nice saves in these last 13 minutes of play alone across the 2 rounds. And meanwhile, his team here on the front line, taken here by Adam Fly, and maybe a rebound. Nice shield and a tap shot. Had a little time to work with, but couldn't convert on it.
Yeah, going for that, what I think might have been a 3 there with that tap shot right at the edge of the bubble there. So definitely a little bit of a risk there, and unfortunately didn't pay off for him, but it would have put him in the head there, so I can respect it.
Yeah, definitely. Risk reward, the name of that game, and what's still a nice job just to get himself the opportunity based off his stuns. Speaking of, there's Copenhagen with one himself, and then the shot just off of that top shelf and back into the bottom line, and taken back by Tantrum.
Here with the low clear, unfortunately, back into the hands of Hanaveli. And Wombo was going to keep this offense up, pushing it out, pushing wide. And Hanaveli doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on him. He's going to keep moving it up, wait for the pressure to come, and look for that back pass.
And the pass there, just a bit too off the marks. So will be a take here, a steal by Barrage. And they're down by 2. Only 2 points, scored in this 4 minutes of round 2 so far. So, I mean, a lot of time on the clock, but not a lot of scores on the board quite yet. Of course, as I say that could change at the blink of an eye with a bounce delivery right to Tantrum. Very nicely done. And now to Pervallo and to the nest. Good passing again.
Yeah, playing the edge of the bubble here. Barrage just taking their time, trying to find that weakness. And they look for it on the floor, but unfortunately the pass is a little bit wide and gets picked up by Lufo. Goes for the long clear across the thing. Does bounce around a little bit, though. Not quite out yet. And we see the Barrage stack come in pretty quickly and get control of this disc with a nice drop and block by Pervallo. Right back up to Tantrum. They're going to keep this offense going.
And you saw that at first attempt, exactly what we were mentioning earlier, where it was 5, 6 maybe passes that were just right on the money. But then the last one, slightly off, and it broke everything. But you know what? They came back. They got the disc back. Might have a chance at getting it twice. We'll see. Right on the feet there of Hanaveli. Adam Fly, but Hana does get it out through the tunnel first. And now more brawls unfolding here as the disc just floats and awaits the midst of somebody's hands as yet again more and more pile-ups.
Yeah, Barrage again does come out with the disc, though, making the clear and keeping the offense going. It's only 2-0, but this clock has been winding down for quite a while now without any points being scored. So we'll see if they can finally break that lull and get some points here.
Yeah, that's the question. Very large scoring drought. That first goal coming in about a minute or so into the round. And just a drought since then. That said, a great pass, but look at the big stuffage from Lufu. Just absolutely making mincemeat out of the offense.
Yeah, Lufu sees Tantrum making all these saves, and he's like, you know what, I can make saves of my own, and he does. He makes a great save set coming up on the from below the goal. Getting that stuff is not easy to do.
Not at all. That was a really athletic save at that. Just really swinging down, using that wingspan to make a grab on the swinging player. So that was super impressive. The question is here, can they convert on the offense? Those are the big questions. You know, you can have the great defensive play, but can you turn it into something on the other end? If you can't, then it almost feels like it was a wasted effort of sorts. You know, you really want to be able to capitalize on all these opportunities.
And here we see Wombo combo now doing what Barrage was doing earlier, keeping these long, persistent offenses off, keeping the disc held at midfield. But Barrage, again, responds in kind, keeping their defense up and not letting Wombo get any more points. And it's because they are going to get the first boost as well. Paravala pushes into the bubble and is able to tie it back up 2-2 with only 3 minutes left.
So finally, after 5 minutes and 38 seconds expired since that last goal, we get another one here. And as he said, 3 minutes left, all tied up. Still very likely as anything that we can get that third round, but we will see. I know for Wombo, obviously they're going to want to close this off in the next couple and just make a good play here on this immediate joust. Very effective rollout.
Yeah, definitely, especially in contrast to the first game where we saw the quick 9 points come out from Wombo. Barrage is keeping this neck and neck and is able to keep control of this. They found their stride a little bit, and we able to do what they can do best.
Yeah, we saw that building a little bit there towards the end of the first, indeed, and they've absolutely carried it on here and have definitely just found ways to stifle Wombo a little bit more. Wombo, though, they're going to be patient with it. They're very, very slowly rolling up there on the floor, maybe trying to even go for a 3 on the goalie, but there was a lot of players there. I mean, 3 different ones for Barrage, so even if one was bothered, you still had 4 other hands there to maybe make a save.
Yeah, definitely an interesting strategy, but it's a strategy. They've seen how long it took that first goal that happened from Barrage, and they're thinking, you know, if we can get a 3 and it takes them 5 minutes to get a 2 again, they don't have that kind of time. So could have worked out for them if they had gone in.
Yeah, and maybe over here, just a fling up. Adam got there first, but the goalie being disciplined, not trying to leave his post, as all these players just kind of post up on each other right on the bottom of the floor. Now, six or seven different bodies all in that pile as they finally unravel for the collection on the other end, where Copenhagen looks for that deep clear, sailing past the hands, right through the sky, right into the blue zone, and right into the top of the ceiling, where it'll just be right back to Wombo.
You know, we see Wombo here, going to see if they can get this disc out of their own goal with, or out of their own zone, I'm sorry, with control.
I'm going to say that was on purpose, but that was... I know it wasn't, but that was magnificent, that bounce.
Yeah, and it's these clears, neither one of these teams have had these clears really work out with these back players, again, just like last match, are really picking up these clears. And so we've seen them both kind of try to make these controlled pushes up the field, but those are not hard to do, or those are not easy to do, I'm sorry. And so we've seen a lot of these discs kind of get loose.
Yeah, been very much the case. Only 4 points total, 9 minutes into this second round. After, like Rox was mentioning there were 9 early points in the first round there for Wombo. So a huge stark contrast as some more slaps go through. And I think at this point, either just the kind of the wearing down a little bit, or cluttered up comms, either or. Definitely the pacing has changed, and neither team able to find too much stability. And we're right back to where we were in some of the early matches, where really anything that happens here, any goal is probably, well, definitely now going to be a game winner. So they got to be very, very careful.
And the clear eventually does get off, but right in the hands of Tantrum, and the Barrage will push this offense. They've only got 15 seconds left, though. So if we'll see them do all of this control, but we'll see if they can make a fast play as well. It's only 8 seconds now making the back pass.
Well, 5 seconds left, but no one is even in the bubble, really, so no options. And I think playing it almost too slow there as we do go for an overtime. Not really offering, again, the defense was disciplined. They were just sitting there kind of waiting for them to approach, and they did, and they got the disc right back, took it away.
Yeah, a very close match so far, and we'll see. I don't remember who won the first couple of jousts, but we'll see who can come away with this one. Another OT today, very exciting.
Yeah, back-to-back OTs in these two matches on stream. So nice to see, fun to watch. For Barrage, going to be even funner if they can collect this one and force that round 3. Trying to do so here with a handoff Paravallo as the stuns come out from Adam. But Tanavelli as well, dishing out some punches and getting a steal, though. Copenhagen, now here's from that same spot, I do believe, from that highlight video, but the shot will be cut off that time, just hoping his stack maybe can collect that off. But they are going to be knocked loose and piled up upon here, the wedge.
Yeah, the boost does come back for Wombo finally and is able to get the disc out. Unfortunately, Clear goes a little bit wild, and Tantrum able to pick it back up. But again, Hanavelli with the punches to like collect this disc and get it out into the orange zone.
And there's Copenhagen trying to claim that zone for his own as that shot or that throw just bounces off every which corner before finally finding the hands of Shaken Bacon Sandwich. And another bounce here will float back towards mid. And overtime situation, round 2. Wombo Combo did win the first round there, 9-4. They're trying to close this out with a sweep. They have 51 seconds to do it, and Barrage, all the meanwhile, has 48 seconds now to deny it.
Yeah, Hanavelli here with a decent opportunity.
Ooh.
Ducks Paravallo, pushes him for the 1v1, and does close it out for Wombo Combo. With a very nice play, very nice pass coming into Hanavelli, and then pushes in with the 2v1 there, getting the nice juke, and then 1v1 in the goalie there for the win.
So, yeah, the sweep, in fact, in OT, the second OT of this stream of the last hour. Wombo Combo coming away in a very low-scoring second round. Manages to just finish it off there. Hanavelli, the original Echo player, one of the original Echo players from the early days, went away for a while, came back, and just made his stamp on this game here to claim the victory. So, fun match all around. Fun 2 matches all around, for that matter. But congrats to Wombo Combo here for taking that win as we go to the stats screen. So taking a look, it was 7 points. Hanavelli leading the way there. Of course, none more important perhaps than that last shot in OT. But 1 save, 2 steals, 45 stuns. Pretty big numbers there. Shaken Bacon with 3 points, 3 assists, 17 stuns. And then Muser, the Bruiser, with 79 stuns in 2 rounds. That's bonkers in more ways than one, I guess. But 79 stuns there to finish out this game, unless something is very wrong. That is that's big numbers. But anyways, Lufu with 1 assist, 3 saves, and 4 stuns. For Barrage's side, it was Paravallo with 4 points and 4 saves, as well as 2 steals, 28 stuns. He had 2 points for Adam, as well as 48 stuns. Now, defensively, brawl-wise, I mean, take a look at Copenhagen here and Tantrum as well. Copen with 2 saves and 40 stuns. Then Tantrum had himself 6 saves, and they were some sick saves at that, along with his 6 stuns. So, nice effort on their end as well, just not quite enough to really turn it around into some offense and take any wins there.
Yeah, and especially if not for Tantrum making a lot of those saves. And I mean, Paravallo, too, if you look at the stat line, they really do have a lot. What is it, 13 saves across the board in 2 rounds? This match could have been a lot more, the scores could have been a lot more devastating if they hadn't done such a good job with that bubble defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, looking at really just the stat lines, the team stats on the edges of the screen there. I mean, 76% shots taken, though, from Wombo Combo, as well as 80% of the assists. And that's kind of the difference maker there, as it very often is with these games, where the team who gets more shots, a pretty high percentage of the time, they're going to be the ones who win the game, just because, you know, defending at a high level, at any level really, is pretty difficult. Not that offense isn't, of course, but just if you give offensive players the chance to score, you know, 2, 3, 4 times because of rebounds off of misses and things like that, percentages say that they're probably going to score on one of those compared to expecting your defense to work or have a save every time. Try it as they might, because again, Barrage, had a lot of saves in there for sure, 72% of them. So big defensive effort, but as I mentioned, if you can't turn those big defensive stops into offensive goals, then it just kind of undoes whatever, goodness that you kind of built up. Any of those the momentum-building moments where you just get a big save, and then, a lot of the time you want it to spurt into just a great offense, kind of discourage the team, and then start rolling from there. But yeah, Wombo was just able to keep on rolling despite being saved on, and it was really that persistence which got them the narrow win, really, in both of these rounds, coming down to, again, the last moments.
Yeah, and that's the thing with playing defense. Is as many saves as you get, getting the save and getting the stoppage is only the first half of the battle, because getting the disc out of your zone is also a whole nother task right in its own, and it's definitely hard to do that for teams a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely, especially when you have teams who are very aware how to position around, so that even if they miss their passes or they miss their shots, if you have your offense kind of lined up and spaced out correctly, you still oftentimes will have a decent shot at getting that rebound. So it's another tough issue for sure. Or getting an intercept, even if you have a goalkeeper save it and toss it, if the positioning is good, there's going to be someone around that midfield area, around the bow tie perhaps, who can retrieve the disc anyway. So it's very, very tough. And then you even mentioned in recent streams, we've seen a lot of cases where these big saves come through, but then the offensive player just immediately regrabs the disc and dunks it in. We've seen that a ton this week alone. So very tough being a good defensive player, or team for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. It's definitely probably one of the most difficult things that teams encounter in this game, and it's really hard to learn and harder to master, really, to be able to not only get these saves and get these clears, but be able to do it consistently, especially against teams that position so well on offense, pick up those clears. As we've seen today, a lot of these, both these games, both teams had somebody in the back line just constantly kept picking up clears, and stopping interceptions, and just doing a really good job of keeping the disc in the offensive zone.
It's definitely tough stuff, and, well, again, well done to the Wombo combo there for winning that match, and as well as Full Metal Jacket on that last one. So in about 30 minutes from now, 29 minutes, top of the hour, we have a big master tier match between Team Joker and Illuminati, the pre-season 1 champions, aka season 0. And I'm telling you, we might just get that renamed at some point. But pre-season 1 champions Illuminati, aka Illuminati at the time, versus the season 1 champions Team Joker. That's going to be casted here in, again, about half an hour, top of the hour on channel 1. So definitely tune in for that real soon. But as for this particular stream, that's going to do it for us for now. So I've been Palidore, that's been RoxTytan. Thank you to all the Twitch chat for coming in and engaging, interacting, and cheering, and being in awe over the 79 stunts as well, I can see. So yeah, it's been fun, but we'll see you again quite soon. So yeah, be happy, healthy, safe, and good to each other, and be back in half an hour.